Yeah, I think data governance is a really interesting topic. Very often people think, oh, we're going to talk about data models. They don't see the connection to the customer, to the citizen that we're working with. But to me, data governance equals a good customer experience. So when people they come to the government, they come to a site, they want to enter their information, they need to get a passport, they need to get EI, etc. They have to re-enter their information multiple times in different places. And that's a very poor customer experience. If we have good data governance on the back end, if we know we collect the same fields, it's located in the same central location, we can update, modify the information, it's being used across all of the organizations that facilitate customer experience, then you get that great experience. Keeping in mind, the experiences that people are used to are the experiences on like Netflix and Facebook and those places where things are interconnected and work seamlessly. So that's what we're living up to, and for that you need data governance. So. Yeah, I mean, obviously security is very important, and identity protection is important as well. You want to have those things in place. There's obviously masking and securing the data that's important. Data governance can really help with that, identifying which fields are those fields that are personally identifiable information or information that needs to be secure versus which fields it's okay. And through the metadata that you have with data governance, you're able to do that kind of security more efficiently, right? And across the board. Yeah, this one is an important one, I think. We've definitely recognized at EDC, we're not a technology company, right? We're here to facilitate exporters. We're here as a bank to be able to facilitate guarantees, insurance, loans, financing, and to be able to provide advice and connections as well for exporters. We're not a technology company developing technology. So what we really find is a good partnership is to be able to partner with private sector software companies, purchase their platforms to facilitate the business that we have. They're in charge of modernizing their platform, bringing forward new releases, improving the tool, and we support it on the IT side. Obviously, we wouldn't look to them to do that. We need to be able to provide our own support, our own patches, etc. But we let them do their job so that we can do our job better. And I think that's one of the places where we need to find a good balance. For us to build out our own custom databases and try and maintain those over time, it's just not as good a use of our time. Yeah, I mean, I think trust is important, and it's a two-way street, right? Very often we'll go into these relationships and we'll just say, what can you do for me? I want it this way, this way, this way. And we're not opening up and sharing a little bit about our strategy, our vision, our goals, so that the vendor never has that chance to sort of think holistically about how they're developing their tools and where we're going. We need to develop that trust so that it's a back and forth relationship. And then we start to see growth over time. We start to see sort of more integrations across the various platforms with the vendor. And we can see the vendor, thinking of us in advance when they have something new, or if they find that they could be training in a different way, they're going to come to us in advance. And that's what creates that partnership and that trust over time. It's an interesting one, and I actually think that one of the biggest things we can do to future-proof digital solutions is not technology related at all. When we are establishing these digital solutions, one of the biggest things that we often do is take a manual physical process and just translate it right into the digital solution, into the software. And when we do that, it often requires a heck of a lot of customization, right? And as soon as we start customizing the tool, we can get down to even code level customizations potentially. That makes it very difficult to support. We no longer have sort of your standard tool that the vendor is used to seeing with all their other clients. Now we have something that could be possibly, depending on how far we've gone, akin to our own tool. So we don't want to do that. And the way to resolve that is to look at the processes and understand the business processes, to take them and to modernize them, to simplify them, to take a holistic look end to end, to be able to understand, how can we take this, rethink the whole thing. We're not doing it manually. Now we're going to be doing it in a digital solution. What can we do to standardize, simplify, automate? And then with that new simplified process, we're able to work with the tool, and then we can have a process in the tool that's normal, if you will, for the tool. It's going to help with our support, but it also helps when the application has new releases, upgrades, etc. We're going to be easily able to upgrade and keep up with the future, and that way we're going to be able to have the most modern application at all times, as opposed to being stuck back in version 2 because our process was so complicated. Yeah, and I think Paul touched on it actually at the beginning of our the conference today. All the things that are not technology are very important and often sort of forgotten. So the change management aspect, the communication, the training, as I just mentioned, the process modernization, a lot of that is really important. I also find that having a co-led approach is very important. So when you have the project, you need to have an initiative lead from the business and an initiative lead from the technology side, and they need to work together at all times. It shouldn't be sort of a throw something over the wall when technology is done with it and back again. They should be working together. Through that, not only do you ensure that everybody's working together towards the same goals, but both sides are learning a little bit about the other, right? And it stops that kind of, oh, well, it's their fault, it's my fault, and it helps to move things forward. So I would say that is one of the key elements of success in a digital transformation initiative. Yeah, so far in the event, I've just seen that the speakers are really practical, providing things. I've already sort of taken notes or shared some links of things with folks back in the team. So I really appreciate that. Sometimes you go to conferences and it's very theoretical, frameworks, etc. And this has been very practical, a lot of things that you can apply right away to your job. So I found it to be very beneficial.